What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, party people? Welcome back to Steve Penn Music. Hope everybody had a good day today. I got some important stuff I want to talk about today. Today is basically about Julian Brown, a black inventor who's been under attack. You guys know the story about Julian Brown. If you don't, I'll fill you in about who Julian Brown is. Actually, Julian Brown is a American black inventor, and actually he doesn't live not too far away from me. Like, we're right in the same town, right? And so basically, man, he's been under attack a little bit. You know, he's been followed, he's been watched because his invention to transform plastic into gasoline. Mr. Julian Brown is pretty active on social media, but lately, as of, I believe it was July 9th, it was some growing concerns that he's being under attack. Actually, he put this out there himself. Julian Brown is originally from Tennessee, and he was raised here in Atlanta, Georgia, right? And so for the past few days, he's been missing. Listen, guys, this is nothing new. Right? Whenever there's a black inventor, history has shown that he's been messed with. You know, he's been spied on. He has not been given credit. He or she has not been given credit for their invention. So this is nothing new. I mean, Julian Brown inventing a machine that can convert plastic into gas, that's pretty groundbreaking. And it has a lot of people scared, the higher ups, because it's dipping into their money, right? And so this is nothing new. So what I did is I compiled a list of black inventors that hasn't never been compensated for their inventions. And I basically wanted to take this time out right now to, you know, let you guys know about some of these black inventors that had mainly went through the same thing back in their time, right? So this is nothing new. And so I'm gonna start off with Granville T. Woods. Granville T. Woods, they call him the Black Edison. His inventions: multiplex telegraph, improved train braking systems, and telephone transmitters. The issue: frequently had to defend his patents against Thomas Edison, who attempted to claim ownership of Wood's inventions. This is not nothing new. We already knew that a while ago. A lot of these inventions, black inventors invented what they invented because they had to do all the work for the slave owner. So they had to figure out a way to make these inventions, to make these inventions work on their behalf. But because they was not allowed to read or write, back then a lot of inventors didn't get credit for it, and slave owners knew that. And so the threats that Granville T. Woods encountered was, you know, he faced racial barriers in business and patent offices, often had to sell his patents cheaply or license them just to survive. Many of his contributions were downplayed or attributed to others. And it just sounds like that's what they're trying to do with Mr. Julian Brown. He had to stay low a little bit. You know, his mom had took to social media and said that, you know, he just had to lay low for security purposes. Now, a lot of people are questioning, is it really his mom that's putting out the information saying that, you know, Mr. Brown has to lay low? I don't know. Either way it go, I hope the brother's doing fine, and he's safe somewhere, staying low like Derrick Rose, if you know what I'm saying. The next inventor, Dr. George Washington Carver. Now, I wrote all this stuff down, so that's why I keep seeing me refer back to my notes. So don't pay that no mind, but I couldn't remember all these things that I wanted to say to you guys today off the top of the head. So I said, you know what? Let me write it down so I don't give them any misinformation. But Dr. George Washington Carver was an agriculture scientist and inventor. His inventions, crop rotation techniques, hundreds of uses for peanuts, sweet potatoes, and soybeans. Issues, while he celebrated for his work, his actual inventions were often unappropriated, and many ideas were uncredited in textbooks. Threats and credit issues, Carver endured threats from white supremacists in the South and was once nearly lynched due his prominence and self-reliance. And see, they don't want us to know nothing, you know. They want the work done, but they don't want us to come up with these inventions. My son actually was asking me about Black inventors and how did they come up with inventions. So I explained to him that, you know, a lot of these inventions were made back during the slavery days, during slavery. And so Black people had to find better ways to do things because think about it. They're working from sun up to sundown. I mean, you guys seen the movie Emancipation with Will Smith. I mean, that was just a glimpse, just a tad bit, just a glimpse of what probably went on back then. I can only imagine. But I was telling my son that slaves and Black people back then had to come up with inventions to make life a little bit easier. And, you know, was able to give him an example because one day we were out there in the yard cutting grass. You know, I had the weed whacker roll and, you know, I let him trim the hedges or whatever. And, you know, with the weed whacker, it takes this little wax string that you run through the weed whacker and it spins and it chops the grass down. It's made out of plastic, right? And so it kept breaking. And you know, what would take me normally 30 minutes will turn easily into 2 hours because that string kept breaking. And I said, son, see if you have a hanger for me. So he gave me a wire hanger, you know, the old school wire hangers. I unraveled it, I cut it, and I traced it where the string will go in the weed whacker. So now I got a piece of steel chopping the grass and it works great today. But I gave him that example. I showed him that he was able to see it in real time that, hey, we got to cut this grass, man. And this weed whacker string keep breaking. And so I did that and I was able to show him, look, we just made something, even though, you know, we have tools that would do the job. But at that time, we needed something right then and there. And so there was a lot of slaves back then that ran into problems on the field and they had to improvise, man. They had to be creative and come out with things and inventions to make their life better. And half of the time when they did that, they didn't get credit for it. Julian Brown really ain't no different. I mean, he has not launched his creation yet, but I'm pretty sure that's his plan. And they're trying to stop him from it. So this is nothing new. And I'm reading off these Black inventors just to let you guys know, I'm pretty sure you already know, that this ain't nothing new. When you dip into that man pockets, you're trying to put an end to you and your invention. You know what I'm saying? So let's move on to the next one. The next one goes by the young man named Lewis Latimer. Lewis Latimer, inventor and draftsman who worked with Edison and Bell. Inventions, carbon filament for the light bulb, improved bathroom systems for trains. Issues, although he played a crucial role in developing Edison's light bulb, he is often left out of mainstream narratives about the invention. Threats and credit issues, his work was buried under Edison's legacy. Latimer endured constant erasure due to his race. Here's another one, Lewis Latimer. You know, it's a history. America has a long history of trying to steal people's invention and taking credit for it. Dr. Shirley Jackson, theoretical psychiatrist, inventor, and researcher. Inventions, research laid the groundwork for technologies like caller ID, call waiting, and fiber optics. Issues, her foundational work was integrated into commercial products without wide acknowledgement. Threats, issues, and credit issues. As one of the first Black women to earn a PhD from MIT, she faced intense institutional resistance and received little recognition for her early innovations in telecommunications. We have a long history of Black inventions. And let me stop right here and let me make this point very clear to all my Black brothers and sisters and to all the white people that's out there and the Asians and whoever, to America, right? There's been this thing going on about FBA Black people boycotting Africans because of their attitudes and the way that they treat Black Americans. I do think this is something that can be resolved through communicating, through dialogue, but it's going to take somebody to take the initiative to make that all happen, right? But with all of that being said, with all this bickering about how African treats Black people in America and Black Americans and Black Americans beef and distaste for Africans, this Julian Brown situation, that's really our fight, right? I mean, Black inventors, we have a list. I didn't even stop reading the rest of my list that I put together, but this is what we need to be boycotting and protesting. Like these Black inventors' creations that I just mentioned, that these Black inventors never got credit for, like Dr. Shirley Jackson, who I just mentioned, who laid the groundwork for technologies like caller ID, call waiting, fiber optics. We do business with these companies all the time. We use these inventions that these people never got credit for. This is who we need to be boycotting, companies like this. This is my point. See, the African hair salons and the African businesses, they're all modern day. We can still reach out and talk and get this thing straight. But these people, our ancestors, never got their credit and they're long gone. These are things that we need to be causing awareness about. And if you want to mention it, yeah, boycotting these same companies that issues these products out to us, right? These are Black inventors. Damn, doing business with or boycotting an African. Let's take a deeper dive because they owe us big time. I mean, the families of Miss Jackson, anyway, if they have not been compensated, I seriously doubt that they did. So why everybody's fighting over hair braids and weave and stuff like that, I mentioned to it in my other video. There's plenty of other things that we should be fighting for. Let's move on to the next inventor, who is Benjamin Montgomery. Inventions. Mr. Montgomery invention was a steam power boat propeller designed for shallow waters. His issues, since he was enslaved at the time, he was denied a patent. Only white citizens could hold patents. Threats and credits issue. After emancipation, he continued innovating, but his early work was never officially recognized. You see, this is what we should be fighting for. This is what we should take a deeper dive into looking into and saying, hey, we need to be compensated. Somebody in this family needs to be compensated, right? But you guys feel like it don't affect you, maybe? Hey, I need my hair done. I don't care about no damn power boat propeller, but there's somebody out there that does. That's Black, right? And let me just give y'all a bonus fact. Even in modern times, black inventors like Julian Brown, Plastoline, and Dr. Hadia Nicole Green, cancer treatment via laser inactive nanoparticles face scrutiny, underfunding, or threats for disrupting powerful industries. This is one of the things that it boils down to. Julian Brown situation. He's threatening these people, man, that hold the key to powerful industries, that own part of some of these powerful industries, right? So he's threatening their profit, but at the same time, he's making life better for all Americans, but they don't want him to dip into their profit, right? So this is what this is about. I want my people to see this. I want you guys to know that this story is going on. This is not something that you're gonna just see on the news. You know, this is not something that you're gonna see on the news. So I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention. Next, Sarah Goode. She's a furniture designer and inventor. Inventions: the folding cabinet bed, an early version of the modern Murphy bed. Issues: as one of the first black women to receive a U.S. patent, 1886, she was largely forgotten in mainstream history. Threats and credit issued to her: she faced immense racial and gender discrimination. Many furniture manufacturers copied her design without giving her credit or compensation. You see that? You see that? Like, this is unfinished business. This is unfinished business. These creations and patents, when black folks couldn't read, there's somebody that need to be compensated for this stuff. See, I only wrote down 10, but there's plenty more. There's plenty more. There's plenty more. I only gave you guys 10. I may give you 2 more. But this is America, man. African people, this is what we dealt with. I'm pretty sure there's been some African inventors that was here in America too, that got their patents and inventions stolen from them. But it's topics like this is the real fight. While y'all bickering and beefing about hair weave and getting your hair done, there's some family members and family members of inventors that's out here probably struggling when their great-great-great-great-grandfather or grandmother created an invention that we all use today. And they're probably, God knows, I hope they're doing great, but I'm pretty sure there's a few of them that's out there struggling big time. You got these powerful industries and these companies living a life of Riley. Now, this goes on everywhere. They steal everything. The government steal everything. The powers that be take everything. I mean, even with the music industry. I mean, how many of y'all seen the 5 Heartbeats? They didn't even want to put black people's face on a record, on an album cover. They wanted the sound, but they didn't want to put black people's face on an album cover. See, so this is nothing new. We got to get over the hair braiding stuff and dealing business with Africans. Let's use this moment to educate them. And that's what I'm trying to do. Let's move forward. We got Otis Boykin, electronic engineer. He was. His inventions: electronic control devices used in pacemakers, IBM computers, and guided missiles. Despite his inventions being used in life-saving medical tech and defense systems, he received little recognition or financial reward. Threats and credits issued: major corporations profited heavily from his work, while Boykin died in a relative obscurity. Basically, he died broke. It's another one. Does that surprise you at all? I'm gonna give you guys one more. Let's do Frederick McKinley Jones. Frederick McKinley Jones was a refrigeration and transport engineer. Inventions: portable refrigeration systems for trucks and trains. Revolutionized food transport and preservation. Issues: his tech was used in World War II and commercial transport, but his name was almost completely erased from history books. Threats and credit issues: as a black man in early 20th century America, he faced rejection, sabotage, and racial barriers to business license and funding. We always gotta fight for everything. Nothing is never given to the black man of America. And if it is, consider himself lucky. I don't believe in luck. I believe in blessings. But nothing is new. And, you know, I always bring it back to the point of reparations. Nobody wants to deal with the fact that black Americans are owed reparations big time, especially these inventors. You know, the slave owner descendants like to say, why should I or we pay reparations if I wasn't there, if I didn't have anything to do with it? I told you guys last video, you're benefiting from it. Now, these lists of inventors that I just named, you guys are benefiting. We all benefit from it, but you're still benefiting from it, slave owner descendants, because you use this technology and had no idea a black man made it. And that's just one way you benefit from it. But there's industries, numerous of them, that capitalize off these inventions. I just read them to you, so maybe I'll give you a few more. If you forgot the ones that I mentioned, you can always go back, hit me on a replay. I think I'm feeling kind of pushy today, so I definitely want to give y'all maybe one more. I really only did like 10. I might have even said 10 when I know there's a whole bunch more. The next one is Henry Blair, an agricultural equipment inventor. Inventions: seed planter and cotton planter in the 1830s. Issues: he was only the second black person to be granted a U.S. patent, but had to file it with a Mark 6 because he was illiterate due to slavery. Threats, credits, and issues: like Benjamin Montgomery, Blair's inventions were used widely, but he received no financial benefit. And few know his name today. And that's sad, but it doesn't surprise me. Many black inventors not only had to battle racism, but also fight entire institutions that wanted to suppress or steal their innovations, especially when their ideas disrupted billion-dollar industries: agriculture, transportation, technology, medical, and energy. In Julian Brown case, he's dealing with their energy, the money that they get from gas. You see what I'm saying? So my whole point of this message is piggybacking off my last video about the things that we choose to fight over in the black community. A lot of that stuff don't mean a damn thing. If you don't want to deal with the Africans to braid your hair or whatever, hell, learn how to braid your own hair. Go to somebody else. Support another black-owned business. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want to do business with them? Find someplace else to go instead of boycotting Africans, because I seriously doubt that all black Africans are the same. So to put that out there to say we're boycotting all African business, I really think that's just really doing too much. And I really think us as black folks, black people, need to focus on boycotting other things. I'm still willing to boycott some of these industries that hold the products of black inventors that never got credit or compensated for their invention, I'm still willing to do that. But see, maybe some of these things are not affecting you right now. You use them daily, don't really give a shit who invented it, right? But I do. And when I hear people just beefing and bickering, mainly black people, beefing and bickering, wanting to do harm to another black business or person, that stuff just don't set well with me. There's a lot of other things that we need to be fighting for. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of other things that we need to come together, make our wants and needs known, stick together, share this dialogue with one another, and see what we could do for the sake of our children. Because we may not see that much of a change in our lifetime, but our children may see the change. Because one thing our ancestors definitely did for us is that they fought for real issues. They didn't fight because they couldn't get their hair braided. They did fight because they was not allowed into certain businesses, and they couldn't use water fountains, and they just wanted equality, and they was getting bitten by police dogs, and they had to sit at the back of the bus, and they fought for those things, and that was great. It was about something. They fought for something of substance. Today we're fighting for hair weave, and because an African is being disrespectful, one or two or three, you want to boycott the whole African industry or businesses. We gotta be better than that. I mean, I don't really know how else to put it. The shit is mad stupid. I don't like to be disrespected. I get it. But to try to rally a community against a person that look like me and you, melanin wise, that's kind of crazy. I feel like you need to direct your energy into something different. And again, stop the division. Stop the division, because we ain't hurting nobody but ourselves. I know what we really need to do to cause awareness. I mean, I hear black Americans on social media talk about reparations, but we got to come together and basically show that we mean business. And when a young brother like Julian Brown is faced with threats because of his invention, I need people like, or groups like, or organizations like NFAC, Hebrew Israelites, ISUPK, whoever else is out there, Black Panthers. We need to protect this guy. We don't have to wait until there's another police brutality to start marching and stuff. This guy is trying to do something that we all can benefit from. And his story goes unnoticed, or there's not an uproar in the black community about it. But the black community, some of us, not me, but some of us, is in an uproar about the disrespect that Africans are giving. Hell, the government and its cronies been disrespecting black people. Okay? The government been disrespecting black people. I just read you about 10 inventors that they disrespect. They never made it right. They never compensated for any of those inventions. They never gave black people a discount on some of them things. Specifically for black folks, a lot of people don't want to hear that black people can get specific special perks, or that black people should get special treatment. We should. We built America. for free. For free. So, I don't know. I just wanted to bring this to you guys. I want us definitely to think about what I just read off and just spilled to you guys. We gotta start picking better battles. My young men, my young black men, we gotta stop beefing with each other. We got to stop doing it. Because one thing about beefing with each other, when you off this person or turn this person TV off, as Hassan Campbell would say, you're gonna get locked up. You're gonna get locked up. You're not gonna be able to see your loved ones. Then you're gonna replay everything that you did, the decision that you made. You're gonna replay it back in your head, and you're gonna say to yourself, there was a better way that I could have did this. I didn't have to take that young man's life. I just want my people to think, man, on a bigger level. Because just banning Africans, we don't have to ban them just yet. You don't have to do that. I mean, you don't have to ban all Africans. Whatever salon you went to, whatever place of business that you went to, boycott that business. But to put it out for all Africans is just unfair. That's just like saying all black Americans. Stop doing business with all black Americans because you had a bad experience with me. That ain't how we do it, y'all. So what's up, man? Let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Steve Penn. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. Remember to hit that notification bell whenever I drop a video so you can get new details, okay? So, hey, love you guys. I think it's about time for me to go. I'll check y'all later, man. Peace.